From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, it's International Education Week at Troy University, and even though the school is often referred to as Alabama's International University, that claim is now backed up by Governor Robert Bentley. Governor Bentley signed a proclamation Wednesday afternoon commending Troy for its leadership in international education. Governor Bentley was joined at the signing by members of Troy University's international student body, which totals nearly 800 students from 75 different countries. University leaders feel that diversity means for a fun learning environment.
This is one of the, again, fun things and rewarding things about being at Troy is learning from these students. And so in this International Education Week, we're having those opportunities every day to hear them give their perspectives, to share a meal with them, to learn about their country. So I love this time of year.
And earlier in the week, Troy's international students shared a bit of their culture as a part of International Education Week festivities. Sarah Singletary has the story.
International Education Week continued Wednesday afternoon with the Explore the World event. Countries from around the globe are represented through food, art, clothing, and music. One international student tells us what she hopes to bring from her home country to America.
So we're kind of trying to bring the festivals, the food culture. I've seen a lot of Americans loving Indian food. So the food and the dress, you know, what we wear, kind of basically all what we are. We're trying to bring it over here.
The purpose of this week is not only to expose students to other cultures on campus, but to also educate them on opportunities to study abroad. International Student Services Dean Darlene Schmoor Stewart tells us what she hopes students gather from this week.
We hope some of these events give American students a flavor of what they can experience, both by engaging with international students here on campus and looking at opportunities of going abroad themselves.
The Troy University student population represents 75 countries worldwide. One student tells us what's so interesting to her when it comes to international education.
I think it's awesome how no matter what differences we have, we can come together and, you know, interact and make friendships and just share our cultures and really get along as one, which is why I think Troy University is so great.
International Education Week is a national holiday celebrated on university campuses across the country. Sarah Singletary, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And while Troy's international students shared their culture with their American neighbors, some of Troy's American students shared a piece of their culture in the form of a holiday that's uniquely American. Victoria Bailey has the story.
Turkey, stuffing, and pumpkin pie are all makings of a good old-fashioned American Thanksgiving, and Troy University's Freshman Forum shared a little taste with our international students.
So we're having an international student Thanksgiving dinner for the international students. It's an event we do every year, hosted by Freshman Forum. So we have these guys come and just have a traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
And not only was there a traditional Thanksgiving meal, but Freshman Forum added a little something extra.
We did a little skit tonight, which I thought was pretty fun, and essentially it was just the traditional story of Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims coming to America and the Indians. So hopefully the international students really enjoyed it and had some great food as well.
One international student tells us exactly what she thought of Tuesday night's event.
Wow, it's great. I'm so glad that I could be invited to attend the Thanksgiving dinner like that. This is my first experience to have Freshman Forum invited us, international students, to actually attend a Thanksgiving dinner, and we learned a lot.
And this was the 19th Annual International Thanksgiving Dinner. I'm Victoria Bailey, Troy TrojanVision News.
And while Troy's students were enjoying a big Thanksgiving meal, there is a one student organization that is taking extra food from Troy's dining facility and distributes it to those who need it in the community. Haley Greathouse has the story.
120 white plates filled a cooler ready to go out into the community. The only thing that stopped it from being more is moving capacity. Troy University Campus Kitchens is finally in full swing.
Campus Kitchens is a student-run hunger relief program that's run in conjunction with Trojan Dining. It's been about 20 months in the making. Initially started out of a program in my office called Civic Scholars, and Ryan Cole was a Civic Scholar and was really passionate about hunger and poverty and wanted to see what was like sustainable ways that we could do something about it, kind of going beyond just a classic food drive model.
The food currently goes to one place.
So it goes to the Head Start program, which is a pre-K program in our local community for students of low income or with disabilities to kind of get them ready for the K-12 education system.
And the volunteers hope to one day have a larger impact.
If you feed somebody for a day, that like fits and fills a short-term need, but if we can like work with these families in the education system and help them process, developing skills and, life management and things of that nature, along with education, hopefully we can, start to address poverty in our community from a longer term perspective.
Currently, Campus Kitchens is only accepting a few volunteers, but Seelan says to look for plenty of opportunities in the spring.
Folks that are interested in volunteering, go like us on Facebook, where we're going to announce volunteer shifts and things of that nature. And our Facebook page is called the Campus Kitchens at Troy University, or they can find us on Twitter at CKTroy. So students can look for more volunteer opportunities into the spring semester when we'll really open that up to other students and student groups.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And we'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll learn how Troy students can use technology to stay safe. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're the stronger than we look type, the braver than you think type, the type that knows the time will come when we put type 1 behind us. We're the progress is inevitable type, the hopeful for a cure type, the type that will stop at nothing until type 1 becomes type none.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
A band of severe weather passed through the southern part of Alabama earlier this week, and that left many students wondering about how to stay safe and alert during a time of threat. Courtney Addison found out about a way students can use their phones to stay aware.
Troy University uses technology to keep students informed about their surroundings. The SOS messaging system sends alerts out to students in the case of bad weather, crime on campus, or any other major news. Dean of Student Services Herb Reeves explains the process of sending out these alerts.
Process is very simple. I just log into the E2 campus system, send it out as a text message. Our folks from IT pick it up and they post it onto the email system and send it out as an email also.
These messages are sent during times of emergency only, but the time that you actually receive the text could depend on other things.
By the time we send it out, like mine, I get it instantaneous, but some people don't get it for several minutes after that. Some of that's the process, and some of it too is the time in which we get the warning from either the EMA here in Pike County or from some type of news source. But we try to look at the time. As soon as we know we're going under a warning, we try to send it out as soon as we can.
You can sign up to receive these texts online at www.sos.troy.edu. Reeves adds that it's important to be sure that you fully read each message.
To look at it because I know that students get so many text messages, but I had some folks say that they got the text message, but because it was at like 5 something in the morning, they didn't look at it.
The SOS system is a free service available to all students, and parents are also encouraged to sign up.
Once again, anyone can sign up for the SOS messaging system by visiting www.sos.troy.edu. And for the times when Troy students aren't looking at their phones for emergency messages, they can routinely be found using the devices for social media. And there's a new app that is increasing in popularity among Troy students. Grishma Ramal takes a look at Yik Yak.
In the world of social media, there's always a new app creating buzz. The new kid on the block right now is Yik Yak.
Yik Yak is a social media site that allows people to anonymously post their mind, I guess, just kind of speak their mind, speak their complaints, whatever they're thinking at that moment they can speak, but without anybody else knowing who it is.
The app allows people to post their thoughts and opinions, and users within a 1.5-mile radius can read what you shared. Some of what they say may be nice, but often it's not.
It's a social media platform where people can basically go on a rant and not feel bad about it.
Since there's no fear of knowing who said what, the app tends to fuel a little fire. Within the last month, it has been a platform for argument between the students of University of South Alabama and Troy, as well as the Greeks and the non-Greeks on campus.
As a Greek, honestly, some of it, I see it and I'm like, no, that couldn't have happened, or really, did that just happen? But it's usually just, I throw it away.
Not surprisingly, some students love using it while others prefer to stay away.
I personally don't post a lot, but I really like to look and see what other people are posting because it's a good way to take a break, just kind of scroll through Yik Yak and laugh at what other people are saying.
I don't need to use it because it's distracting, and I need to do better things on campus than sit in my room on Yik Yak.
Distraction or disturbance, that is for users to decide. But with nearly 1 million users nationwide, its popularity is undeniable. Grishma Rimal, Troy, TrojanVision News.
A Troy University fraternity is trying to bring awareness to domestic violence to campus. The Brothers of Omega Psi Phi held a seminar to inform students about the issues. Ryan Renfro has the story.
Last night, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity here at Troy University held a seminar in Patterson Hall for all students to attend. The topic of the event was one that many people have difficulty discussing. One member of the fraternity tells us why they felt the need to increase awareness on domestic violence.
One of the most important things that are important to us is the protection of womanhood. And, most of the time when you hear cases about domestic violence, you hear about women being the victims, but a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of male victims as well. So we just wanted to shine a light on that situation.
One faculty member here on campus decided to speak out about domestic violence and gives us an insight on what motivates her to increase awareness.
Wanting to do more, to get the word out. Domestic violence is something that people don't like to talk about, something that, people think that you keep behind closed doors. It's a personal issue, and the more awareness we can get out there, the better off we are.
As domestic violence continues to become a problem, one member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity shares what inspired him and his brothers to participate in the discussion.
I just want to come out and be aware of what's going on and how things can be prevented, and just really get some awareness on the situation.
Ryan Renfro, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll meet some of the interesting personalities that populate the Troy University campus. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy TrojanVision News.
All this month, Troy TrojanVision has been looking at Troy students with interesting talents or stories to tell in our Trojan Profile series. In our first segment, Austin Cofield introduces to a music student with a unique ability that makes him the envy of most people in the music world.
The man behind this clarinet is none other than Don Leonard, a member of the Troy University Symphony Band as well as the Sound of the South Marching Band. Throughout his years at Troy, he's managed to establish himself as an outstanding member in the band community.
I started band in 6th grade whenever I was in middle school. I remember joining that and really thriving to that. Every other subject I was horrible in. I made D's and C's, and I feel like band was the first class where I really thrived and actually succeeded at. I really enjoyed that.
I have known Don since 8th grade, and he has always been a very compassionate and talented musician and friend. He is the principal bass clarinetist for the symphony band, and I sit second chair. So when we do sectionals like the setting we're in now, he's the one in charge, and he helps us out when we have problems.
Not only is Don a friend, leader, and inspiration to his fellow band members, but he is also one of the few people gifted with a unique talent called perfect pitch.
Perfect pitch is this thing where, you know, you're able to actually produce pitches that are of equal temperament out of the top of your head. 1 in 3,000 people have it.
When he came to Troy University to audition, I knew he was a capable and talented clarinet player, but it wasn't until after he started school here that I found that he had perfect pitch. This is something that can be very useful for a musician. I have some friends who have it, and they've told me it can also be somewhat burdensome.
You know, I would wake up in the middle of the night to sirens, and I would depict, you know, the intervals and all these weird music things that normal people would not be able to pick out.
Don is planning to make use of his talent and skills to further his dream of teaching kids to learn to love music like him. Austin Cofield, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And in our next Trojan Profile segment, we'll meet a student who is a part of a growing athletic trend that is turning into a competitive sport. Sherry Chanel has the story.
Ethan Brown is a senior at Troy University and a CrossFit instructor who brings strength, energy, and motivation to people around him. He is never caught without a smile on his face, and he tells us why it is so important to stay positive.
If you're negative, you do not attract anyone. I'm trying to bring in as many people as I can and influence as many people as I can. So in order to do that, I have to stay positive. It's easy to get a negative attitude, to really want to quit. But keeping a positive attitude just really helps to put.
CrossFit consists of movements performed at a relatively high intensity that test your strength, speed, and endurance. The workouts are constantly varied, never letting your body adapt. He tells us how CrossFit is challenging to him.
Challenges that CrossFit throws at you. There are so many things to be good at, so many different movements to practice all the time, and I'm always up for a challenge.
Ethan also finds time to come to the Presbyterian Church and teach PE to preschoolers twice a week. Principal Michael Alsop tells us why he enjoys having Ethan as a coach.
Is always upbeat, energetic, is very knowledgeable about exercise, and he's just a real pleasant guy to be around.
With a positive attitude and dedication like Ethan that will take him anywhere, we can only expect a positive outcome in his future plans.
To one day start a gym, and own a gym and run a CrossFit gym. I'm not sure where yet. And then maybe if I continue to work out as I have been, go to the CrossFit Games. And I really want to get up into the elite level, so it takes a lot of work.
Sherry Chanel, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
So far, our Trojan Profiles have featured some individuals that most people in the regular Trojan Vision viewing audience probably haven't heard of. However, in our next segment, we're going to find out about the hidden talent of one of our Troy Trojan Vision News anchors. Courtney Addison has the story.
Dustin Allen is a senior broadcast journalism major at Troy University. Allen works as a reporter and anchor at Troy Trojan Vision News. But what some of you might not know is there's a lot more to the man with the camera than you might think.
In 2012, whenever I won Alabama's X Factor, and then Fox actually paid for me to go to the show, and that was really cool. It was the first time I had ever experienced a plane ride. I had a lot of success there, and it was really fun. It was a great experience and something that I'll remember forever.
Allen started singing at the age of 4 years old, and he said music has always been his comfort zone. But he says when he's having a bad day, sometimes dancing it out is the best remedy. And what song does he like to jam to?
It's probably Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. It's a little cheesy, but that song really just, it's very uplifting, and it just puts me in a great mood. And I feel like that song in itself was actually made for people who just want to throw their hands up, you know, and just have a good day and just forget about the, you know, the nervousness or anything that's going on in your life.
Allen will graduate this December, and he says if he could go back in time, there's one piece of advice he'd give to himself.
To not be afraid to really just express yourself and be who you really are and what you want to be, and, you know, not to let anyone stand in your way.
A few of Alan's friends say he always knows how to make people smile.
Dustin's just one of those people that he can walk into a room and light it up.
He's definitely one of those people that can make you laugh no matter what.
Alan said he always strives to live in the moment. Courtney Addison, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And in our last Trojan Profile segment, we'll hear how another of our Trojan Vision anchors balances her on-camera work with her time competing in pageants.
Pageant girl, Miss Sylacauga, Sound of the South dance member, or Trojan Vision news anchor. Victoria Bailey is a hardworking jack of all trades. Victoria explains being Miss Sylacauga is one of her biggest accomplishments.
I felt really accomplished. The time I won Miss Sylacauga, I had competed 2 years before that and got first runner-up both times. So the third year, I was really excited. It was almost like winning Miss America.
Victoria is also a broadcast journalism major. She is currently working as the weather girl and global news producer. Victoria explains how she gets prepared for the daily show and how she sometimes is still nervous when on air.
Preparing for Global is a really long process. We have to gather the stories from CNN or other news sources like CBS. We have to cut up the story. We have to pull out leads. We have to pretty much put the show together in full. I still get nervous whenever I get on camera. The editing process has gotten a lot better, and the going out and reporting has gotten a lot better.
Victoria recently competed for the Miss Troy University pageant 2015. She received first runner-up, and Bailey tells us her most favorite part about competing in the pageant with other girls.
Well, I would have to say getting to know the girls that I compete with. I compete with some amazing girls, and I'm just honored to be able to stand on the stage with them.
Many may wonder how a small-town girl branches out to want to represent her city through pageants or her university through Trojan Vision. Victoria explains exactly how she gets her motivation.
My mother, she is from a third world country, South America, and she grew up, not being able to go to dance class or go to piano lessons, and she just wanted to make sure that I had those opportunities, and I want to make sure that I make her proud by doing the best I can in all of them.
Xavier Harris, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn about Troy University's first ever PhD program. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Depend on our national forests, but now they're depending on us. The Arbor Day Foundation asks for your help in replanting our national forests. Visit arborday.org. See what we're doing. See how you can help.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, more of the award-winning Troy Trojan Vision News.
Troy University will offer its first ever PhD starting next fall. Recently, I had the chance to find out about how students can get involved with the history-making program. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. They'll be talking about the first ever PhD program to be offered at Troy University. And my guest today is Dr. Mark Tillman, the Interim Dean of the College of Health and Human Services. Thanks for joining me today.
All right, thanks for having me, Aaron.
And as I mentioned, big news, the first ever PhD program offered at Troy. First off, tell me how exciting it is to have it a part of your college.
Oh, it's great. It's great news that we have the program approved, and it's a very prestigious thing for the university in general.
And so now the PhD is in sport management, correct?
That's correct.
Now, for the folks at home that are uninitiated in the term sport management, tell us a little about what sports management is all about.
Well, this is a great oversimplification, but sport management basically applies to anything related to the business side of sport, whether that could be something related to athletic director,
Anywhere, anything, I guess, athletic director, but also, the business side, I like to always, the shorthand is, if it's not a coach and a player, it's sport management, right? So
right.
Something along those lines?
Right, marketing, management, any of those things related to business, but not necessarily on the field.
On the field. The X's and O's are out of it, but everything else that supports and relates to that is sport management. So now let's talk about this program, and I guess what is the attraction to getting the PhD in sports management? Who would be interested in getting a degree like this?
Well, we probably have a couple of different pools of people who would be interested. One would be the individuals who are interested from the academic side of things, where they enjoy research and they want to continue on and perhaps be faculty members at an institution. Mm-hmm. The other side could be the practitioner who perhaps is an athletic director and maybe wants to improve their work situation, or maybe somebody who wants to become an athletic director at some point.
And that, especially for an athletic director being in academia, has the opportunity to, if you've got that PhD attached to your name, might make you a little more attractive to a bigger school.
Oh, I think so. It would definitely make you more marketable.
And now let's talk about the program itself. This PhD program. Just give us kind of like, I guess, the basic overview of what to expect.
Well, it's a rigorous and a lengthy program. So our people who apply for the PhD program, they should expect to be in school for about 3 to 4 years, or perhaps even longer, depending on how many courses they expect to take every semester.
And so now this program itself, research-based. Talk a little about research and what you mean by research-based program.
Well, research is a huge part of this degree, and basically our students not only need to be able to understand research, to read research and interpret it, they need to be able to perform their own. So each one of these students will actually complete a dissertation before they graduate.
And now, is it important for a student that maybe who wants to apply for this already have an idea of what their research subject is going to be before they apply?
Well, it would be a good idea if they have some research interests in mind, and that'll be one of the mechanisms that we use to link up each one of these applicants with an advisor.
Now, speaking of advisors, and let's talk about who you have teaching these courses, and specifically you've got someone that I know you're very proud of, that is someone that is special to this program. Talk about the heavy hitter that's a part of this program.
Okay. Well, we actually have 12 excellent faculty members in the department, mm-hmm. and the heavy hitter you speak of he's a legend in sport management. Actually, he's considered the father of sport management, and his name is Dr. Cella Dure. And we call him Cella for short. And like I said, he resides in Canada, but he teaches for us online, and he is considered the father of sport management.
So having someone in that adds a lot of credibility to your program, the opportunity to, hey, anybody who's considered the father of something would be a pretty big deal to have a part of the program. So.
Oh, exactly. And like our other faculty members, he's widely published. He presents data at national, international conferences all the time. So it's a great feather in our cap.
Now, before we go here, if anyone is interested in being a part of this, it starts in the fall of 2015, correct? And so what should they be looking for if they are interested in trying to apply?
Well, we'll have our first class in fall 2015, mm-hmm. just like you said, and we'll start looking at applicants seriously around January 2015. And the best way to do that is to go to our website, look up HSTM, and they'll find the mechanism to apply for the program.
All right, well, good luck with this first year of the program and the first ever PhD to be offered. So 3 or 4 years down the road, we'll see that first PhD offered and given to a student at a graduation ceremony. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, and good luck with the program.
All right, thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the third week of November 2014. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News, or like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News. This is our last episode of Troy TrojanVision Weekly for the fall, but be on the lookout for Fall Semester in Review premiering in December. Until then, have a good week.